There are two things I've never done. One is watch a football game. It just never interested me when I was a kid, and I got a little older, it still didn't interest me. Then after a while, I realized that I had a streak going, and by the way, it still didn't interest me, so I've never watched one, not live or on TV. The second thing is I've never had a successful romantic relationship. I've tried. Women like men who are confident. You know how some women say that they like guys who are unsure of themselves and shy? They're kind of like men who say that so long as a woman has a good sense of humor, is kind, and intelligent, looks don't matter at all. I think there should be a dating site for both of them that would be called something like maybe pantsonfiredating.com. Women really, they like confidence, and I'm one of those people who I just don't have it. That's my basic problem. I can't even peel a banana without mushing the tip. I just don't have that. But, however, there was this one time, years ago, that things almost clicked. Usually my relationships, they last like 6 weeks, and they're just full of doubt and empty of sex. But like I said, there was this one time years ago that I came kind of close. It was 1988. I was 29 years old, and I was teaching English as a foreign language, or a second language, I should say. I was in the office picking up materials, because we taught off-site, and I overheard the guy who hired the teachers wrapping up a phone interview with a potential teacher, and he was reading back her address, and the address that he read back was 2 doors down from where I'd lived in Minneapolis for a few years after getting out of college. That was a big coincidence, and what made this even more of a coincidence was that I'm overhearing this phone call in Nagoya, Japan, which is a city that not even many Japanese people want to live in. So I thought, kismet and all that. And she got the job, she took it, she came to Japan, and when she got to Nagoya, I approached her confidently to ask about the old neighborhood because I was curious what was going on. It had only been a few years since I'd left. She told me about it, and I can never tell how women feel about me, but she seemed to kind of like me, and I sort of was getting a crush on her, so I liked her a lot. But I was still nothing more than friendly around the office. Then the day came that a Japanese friend of mine said he had a refrigerator that he'd give to her, who I knew didn't have one. Japanese apartments don't come with refrigerators. I called her between classes, told her about it. She said she'd love the refrigerator, but she couldn't be there the night they could drop it off. I told her that I could if she'd show me where she lived, and she said she could do that the next night. So I said, okay. Then she said these magic words. She said, after I show you where I live, let's hang out for a while. I never had, and I never have since, felt that kind of euphoria. And I know it sounds really corny, but as I was walking back to my classroom, I couldn't feel my feet touch the ground. So we met. She showed me around her neighborhood. We talked, we had dinner. She takes me back to her place. She makes some tea, and we're hanging out. She had a picture frame on the wall with a bunch of photographs in it, and I'm making conversation. I'm saying, who are they? They're my parents. Who's that? That's my big sister. Who are they? That's my twin sister and her boyfriend. Who's that? That's my boyfriend. Oh. Now, I didn't actually go, because that would have been a little over the top, but instead I said something like, yeah, something like that. Oh, okay. And now, things weren't perfect between them, so we did kind of see each other for a bit, and one night we kissed, and even though I have had intercourse like over a dozen times, that kiss was the best sex I've ever had. The boyfriend got wind of me, and before long, he was in Japan. I met him, and he seemed like a nice guy. And he seemed so hurt and wounded because of me that I felt awful for having liked her. So what we had kind of dissolved pretty quickly. She quit the job abruptly. They went back to America, got married, and they now live in St. Paul where they have 2 kids. I know this because she went to the same college as my mother did, and it was in the alumni notes. So I'm kind of like stalking by Alumni Quarterly, which I think that's okay. Like every 7 years I learn something new. It's okay. When you're young, feelings are more intense, and I don't think I'll ever feel anything that intense again. But it was a good thing. I learned that even if I never got love, I could feel it. And I also, learned that feelings are okay. And right now, it's just kind of this bittersweet echo that I have. And as it's overall, it's a very good thing, no matter what kind of feeling it is. I don't think that a football game could beat it or even match it, but I'll never know.